year 2019 and 2020. 2020 is not even over. And if you look at now what has happened, and I can promise you this, after Corona, if maybe in the next 1 month we do not have the curve flattens and the people are back to normal, campaigns have now started. And people will hit the road, and it will be campaigns maybe for BBI. Then the next thing it will be, elective campaigns for the positions in 2022. And you'd be asking yourself fairly, what will you say we have done for Kenyans, even as Jubilee? I was elected on that.
Let me ask you that question. What will you say that you have done for Kenyans?
Well, that's what bothers me as an elected leader. You know, given the promises that we made to the people of Kenya at that time, and the manifesto we rolled out in 2013, and then we enhanced it in 2017 with even more promises. We've midstream come up with even other promises. Remember the Big Four agenda, and I just saw when I was waiting that you had the PS.
Yes, PS Hinga.
PS Hinga. He's one of those that are carrying out one of the major flagship projects.
Public works.
So you ask yourself, you know, amidst all those promises, even though we are talking about 2022, what 2022 are we talking about if we cannot even get to deliver on what we promised? Maybe lastly on that vote, I would say this. See, observe the president every time when he's ever spoken about the deputy president. You will never pick in one instance when the president directly either insults or necessarily demeans the deputy president. Observe the deputy president himself. When he is addressing issues, then it has to come to maybe an issue about his president. He will always be saying, I'm serving him, he is my boss, I'm following him. I mean, to the extent that you would see that he still limits himself to the respect of his boss, for that matter. And the problem we have is with we guys downwards. You know, you find that I think sometimes we try to outdo ourselves, either for our own ambitions, because you want to be seen to be doing more, or for that matter, you want to haggle and justify a position that you're eyeing, or then be either accepted or taken as a key man.
But people speak down at that level. People speak at the behest or on behalf of who they are championing. Are you now saying that Murkomen's words were strictly his own? And if you are saying that, then should it not be taken then that, for instance, in that particular interview where the senator referred to David Murathe as a dog barking for his master, then that Murathe would be presumably barking for himself, right? No,
let me tell you, and okay, that discharge is purely his own to make. I mean, he would have to discharge himself and say, I was making those comments entirely for my own. And I believe he's also put a burden on the back of the deputy president, because as you move on then, people may want to ask those questions when he said those kind of things. And even others, when we speak the way we speak, are you saying it on behalf of the person you're speaking for? Now, the way we would wrap it as people who are helping Kenyans, as patriotic people, is this, that where does it get us? And does it help us? Does it even help the cause of the person you're talking about?
Okay.
Does it help?
Take, for instance, what I've heard, Senator, because we speak to all sides, and I've heard from various, tanga, if you like, insiders that, Kipchumba Murkomen is the senator elected by the people of Elgeyo Marakwet.
Right.
So it helps him and his people for him to voice his political views about how they feel they are being treated.
Maybe, okay, fine. I appreciate the fact that you talk to them more than I do. I mean, in your show, and then you're bound to hear.
I'm a journalist. Unfortunately, I talk to everybody.
you get to hear most of these views, all right? Right. But of course, there's also the social barometer that we politicians are also able to apply. I mean, I'm with them in Parliament. We are together. We speak. I'm also a leader in the countries where I go around. And what you want to be listening to, for example, like ask yourself, and in this discussion about revenue sharing, and this is where most of these stories came from. in revenue sharing, how would you argue that you're voicing the concerns of your people when you are being told that your county for a long time has been without funds for reasons that can be corrected in a revenue formula that's being talked about now, and then you say, for political reasons, I want to oppose that formula. Did you, by the way...
I think they said for patriotic reasons,
I mean,
to stand in solidarity with others.
Well, I mean, that's the reverse. That's what they say, but that's not the truth. I mean, did you hear, for example, the Senator for Kakamega saying that he has opted not to support that formula, although his county is one of the counties which has the lowest per capita allocation. Do you know the per capita allocation for the people of Kakamega is less than 6,000 bob, while there are some who get 21,000. But he says, I'm opposing it because my governor has never asked me to, or has never told me that the county needs this money. Yeah. I mean, you know, when you hear those kind of things, then you know that somebody is telling another story. Do you know, for example, and I have nothing against my friend Murkomen, but do you know, when we were speaking about this formula, part of the people we were most concerned about are the people of Elgeyo Marakwet, because in their location on the land parameter, the people of Elgeyo Marakwet are excluded to the extent that the consideration for the topography of their area, such that if you are in Elgeyo Marakwet and you want to go to a dispensary across the river, you will have to make miles and miles of meandering, but that's not considered. What we're saying is, in this calculation, can you consider them? And that's why they were gaining more, you know, so that they can cater for those kind of needs. And then,
be that as it may, I'm sure Senator Murkomen will say the issues of Elgeyo Marakwet are best canvassed by him. And I don't want us to lose the point, because the point here was the how far the ante was upped, if you like, by his comments. And people may call it a level of contempt that was previously, maybe even disgust, that was previously unfathomable, and one can wonder how you can abide it in any group or organization when such vitriol has been directed at the head of it. Yeah. Therefore, my question is, do you see Murkomen and many others, because he's not alone, many others who feel aggrieved with the way in which the Deputy President is being treated, staying on in Jubilee? I mean, have we reached the crossroads where, I mean, if that's what you really think about your commander-in-chief or your party leader, why are you still in the party? And in the same breath, where is the Secretary General? Where are the disciplinary organs of the party? Is a Jubilee now a free-for-all?
Okay, one, and we can agree on one thing, that I think the disciplinary mechanism of the party would certainly require to up their game, not only about comments by either Murkomen or any other party official, any other party, any other politician, but to ensure that there is hygiene, that the party fabric still holds, at least as long as the mandate is still alive up to 2022. Because remember, all of us campaigned on that party ticket. It is that party that has formed government. And so we have an obligation, we have a responsibility up to 2022. And so no matter what insider politics you want to play, no matter what's happening, there's one thing that you can't afford to lose. You cannot afford to lose what you have contracted with the people, because yes, you may have your own infights as president, as deputy president, as senator and governor and whoever, but you know, you signed, you stood before the people. You waved at them and raised the contract that you have signed, that this is what we're going to do. So that fact cannot be lost. And to make sure that that is done, it does not only mean that it is the president or the deputy or I mean, even the party management themselves, they have to ensure that the house is clean, that things are being done right.
But just an overhaul right now, Senator, of the entire leadership of Jubilee in Parliament. Still can't push through a revenue formula. No. So clearly, those little, kind of tactics are not going to work. And again, I put it to you, yes, these are people who feel so deeply offended by what is going on right now, and arguably they represent also, millions of Kenyans who, are of the same view. So is the party going to continue to treat the people with whom you have said they have made a contract to this charade that there's even a form of, any agreement that can drive forth the agenda that you promise Kenyans? Why remain in this kind of nonsensical back and forth amongst each other? Anne,
the Constitution ties the deputy president and the president like Siamese twins until 2022, unless any one of them decides to resign. And so for all they do, for all the love they have for each other, or for all the hate they have for each other, they would have to work together, at least until that contract is over. And that's
to work together or to sabotage each other?
And now...
To work together or to sabotage each other?
Well, I mean, their contract is to serve the people. Whatever happens about the side shows, and that's what I was coming to because of the question you asked. You know, I mean, then is it logical? Is it sensible that either the party continues, or if people within that party feel aggrieved, should they stay on or quit? I believe what the big reason, the major reason why there is no avenue or window for departure or for exit is one, because that contract with the people is binding. So they have to remind themselves, no matter how interested they are personally in different ways, whatever ambition the deputy president has got, whatever the president himself wants, whatever all the people around the two of them want, they must remember that must be served. You know, abdicating on that contract is extremely consequential, and I'll tell you how consequential it is. Even the deputy president himself running for president in 2022 on an empty promise note, whereby he'll be saying that we said this, it was not done. We said this, it was not done. I promise you that there will be hard questions from the electorate.
He can probably say, but it wasn't for me to do. You know, I was only deputy. There was president.
You know, and let me tell you what will be happening. And you have seen this happening many, many times over. Now, when it comes to election time, trust me, now people start asking hard questions. This time it can look easy. We can walk around and sing in the sunshine and look like things are. But when it comes to that time, because it will not be only one candidate. Remember, probably Raila Odinga will be running with his stories. And whatever he's saying, another one will be running. And so it will be a competition at that particular time. You know, excuses will not work at that time. And that's why the two of them, the Jubilee leaders, must run. What I'll be saying to all these guys around them, about them, below them, whether it is Senator Murkomen and all others, and the people even within the party, I would tell you one thing, and I would advise them one thing. You know, for the sake of the people of this republic, you know, discipline yourself. I don't think that it takes too much. For example, that when I'm speaking about William Ruto, or I'm speaking about the president, to remember that one, those are my party leaders. Number two, that these guys, even in the eyes of the people, you show respect for those people, then even the served, the one inchi, will also want to follow these people and believe in them. I think you know, those kind of slips, if it was intentional. And that's why I've avoided going to that route, because I wanted to give Murkomen the opportunity himself to say it to the people. Was he speaking on his own behalf or on behalf of
and you know,
the
we
deputy
did,
president?
and more than once. And by the way, for the record, we continue to leave, you know, that open invite to the senator. Of course, he was not available today. Perhaps at another time.
Maybe another time he can come and discharge. But my position is one, as an elected leader in Jubilee, I think it is irresponsible. That when we make remarks, we have to make our remarks, our comments, our campaigns, whatever you want to be, or whatever issues you might have, make those issues only about yourself and for yourself. And remember, there is a bigger picture, there is a bigger game, there are bigger stakeholders in the whole of this game. Okay. And I think because he didn't come.
Can I ask you something? I just want to be cheeky tonight because we're out of time anyway. You Jubilee people, you should apologize to the people of Kenya, don't you think so? At the very least, for treating us to all these shenanigans with the burden of promise.
Yes.
On which you entered, and you've listened to Njugosh earlier, the comedian who spoke on this program, just about the sheer disappointment that Kenyans have at this time. I mean, can you at least own it? And that by continuing in this equation or in this unhappy marriage without a certain end or direction to it, or discipline from the party, or hey, a comment at least from your Secretary General on how matters are conducted, Jubilee, it's disrespect to the people of Kenya collectively on your part.
You know, Anne, I'll tell you, and every Kenyan knows this, that our starting was fantastic. the things we said to the people and we have started to do and done partly, some of them are wonderful for this country. And if it is about a grand vision, if it is about things that would have turned this country or would turn this country around, it is what Jubilee has offered the people of this country. It is what we have shown that we're able to do. Indeed, if you look at what we gave to the people, that's why Jubilee was
able to do.
That's why Jubilee was re-elected a second time. Now, that is why I must say with a straight face that if we do not change what is happening within the party, if we do not address those issues, if people don't find their heads and their senses and get back to serving the people and not putting politics first, then it's going to be very messy, because at the end of the day, when Uhuru Kenyatta is leaving, he will have to answer to the people. What is it that you did and you told us you do that you did not? They will ask William Ruto in 2022 when he is running for president at that time. He'll have to tell the people, why did it not happen? Even Wamatangi myself, in Kiambu County, I'll have to tell the people of Kiambu, why didn't I do what I was elected to do? Because this whole thing affects the entire of the train. You know, you cannot have a mess between the first two engines,
yes.
and then things are rosy in the back.
Oh, yeah.
So about the apology to the people of Kenya, we are not yet at apology time. We have still time and the room to get things corrected.
My dreams have been shattered. Imagine a politician who can't apologize. Mind-blowing.
No, I mean...
Senator, I'm poking fun at you. You certainly don't bear the burden of it all. I think you're the most poised of them all.
Anne,
yeah, we're out of time.
I will apologize if my leaders don't work, if they don't get their act together.
Right. And
we get to 2022, I'll apologize on my behalf. But for the people of Kiambu, I serve them every day. I do what I have to do as a senator elected to serve the people of Kiambu. And the people of Kenya as a senator, I do my best. So for me, I will not apologize on my behalf. I will replace the apology with work. Right. I hope they do too.
Senator Wamatangi.
Thank you.
Amejitetea sana, right?
Did I?
Thank you very much. Thank you, and a pleasure hosting you for the first time, and you're welcome back on Punchline. That's our time. Thanks for watching. Bye-bye. Good night. God bless.